What's happening, guys? Hope y'all are doing well. I'm gonna do something a little different today. Slow it down for you. Keep it in real time. Had somebody out there asking about my warp face designing process. So I'm gonna take a couple minutes today while I start warping up this classic rainbow color design and talk you through the few basic things that you can do as far as designing techniques when you're doing warp face design. So thanks for being here. Hope you enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll answer to them when I see them. Alright. Somebody out there very recently had a really perfect description comparing warp face designing and weft face designing when we're talking about designing textiles. And forgive me who you are. I forget what your name is. But this person said that warp face designing, which is what we're doing here, making the design with the strings on the warp, as opposed to weft face designing, which is when you're creating your design with the weft string, the string that passes back and forth between your warp to hold your weave in place. So today we're doing warp face designing, and with that, this person says that it's warp face designing is like universal law, whereas weft face designing is like the law of man. What she means by that is that in warp face design, there's very little you can do to manipulate the design. Everything is pretty set in its structure. In fact, we have three quitting time. We have three different techniques that we can do to affect the design of the warp. In weft face designing, ruled by the law of man, you can do whatever you want. You can make whatever kind of design you want. You are limited by your imagination and the number of strings you have on your warp. So what we're doing right now is the first option we have with warp face designing, and we're just running one solid color back and forth. This is going to create a solid run of color all the way up our warp. That is technique number one. I'm going to pause there while I work up until I get to a talking point on technique number 2. Talk to you soon. Okay, then we're back. So essentially what we just did there real quickly was run 2 up and back purple, 1 red, 1 purple, and now 2 red. Now we're going to be running 2 colors at once. We're going to be running the red and the purple together. And to do that, we're going to cut the red and put it back up here end to end. We're going to bring the purple back into the mix. Match all your string ends up there, nice and evenly, keeping nice tension on the warp. And you can tie a knot, overhand knot. You want to eyeball where that knot's going to lie and how much tail you're going to have left over there so that you get that knot right in the center with good tension. So now what we're doing is we're running 1 color string on one side of the warp and 1 color on the other side, which is going to create that kind of zipper ladder effect of the alternating colors as we weave. Pay attention which color is on the bottom and which one is on top, and make sure it stays that way throughout the process. We have red on the bottom, purple on top, purple on top. Making sure purple stays on top as we round. Making sure we're on the right side of the warp. Crossing the purple over. And here, we're going to bring the purple underneath. And 1 twist. Don't pull too tight, but nice even tension on your warp. And we look like that. Okay. Keeping tension here, red on the bottom, purple on top. Back around. Now, when we're running 1 string at a time, up and back counts as essentially 1 warp string. When we're running 2 at a time, up is 1, back is 2. So we have 2 strings. Okay, 1 twist. That's all we need. Red on the bottom, purple on top. We go back 1 more time. Nice even tension on your strings. Red on the bottom, purple on top. Not pulling too hard, not letting them loose. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and push that down. Red on bottom, purple on top. Okay, so that is our second technique that we have to work with. And I'm going to go back to 1 solid run of red. And then we're going to do some alternating red and orange. Step into the next color in the rainbow. So, with that, and to show you this transition back to 1, we're taking the 2 cut ends of the 2 we were just running and the one that we're going to start running and tie them all together. Boom. Come back, make sure purple on top, red on the bottom, and there we are. This is a good point to take a break because you got tension on your work now. Get some water, take a breather. All right, I'll slow it back down when we talk about the third option we have. All right, slowing it back down on you. So I kind of lied when I said there were 3 design variations you could do with warp face weaving. There are actually just 2. We've talked about them. Running 1 string at a time. The bottom here. We're running 2 strings at a time. We end up with one color on one side of the warp and another color on the other side of the warp. So from there, we have a couple of different variations that we can do while we're running 2 strings at a time. And we're going to talk about one of those variations right now. We just got done running a few solid orange runs. And now I'm going to bring in yellow and have yellow and orange running at the same time. So, stay with me to see this exciting variation. It is exciting when you have so few options to affect your design. The ones that you do have are exciting. So, I got the orange and the yellow. I will run orange on the bottom, yellow on top. Okay, I always say that out loud so I don't forget. Orange on the bottom, yellow on top. We're going to go up and back. Make sure yellow stays on top, keeping even tension on the warp all the way around. Orange on the bottom, yellow on top. Our simple cross, just like we did last time, keeping the orange on the bottom and the yellow on top. Back. Now, here comes the variation. Instead of doing one wrap and bringing the yellow back to the same side and the orange back to the same side, we're going to continue that wrap one more time, which is going to bring the yellow to the opposite side of our warp. Likewise with the orange. So now the yellow is going to be on the bottom and the orange is on top. We're going to run that. Yellow on the bottom, orange on top. And here we're just doing the one cross, keeping yellow on the bottom now, keeping the orange on top. So that's 2. And now we're going to do a little switcheroo again and do 1, 2, 3 twists. Bring the orange back to the bottom, bring the yellow back to the top. So we will see as we begin to weave that this is making a checkerboard design. And that's variation number 1 on the 2 strings at a time. And speed it back up on you here. Talk to you Okay, starting to get dark, starting to get eaten up out here. Just about finished with our 1.5 inch of warp here, rainbow warp. And here at the end, we're going to see that second variation when we're running 2 strings at a time. We have indigo and violet that we're running together. And we're already tied on here. Going to be running violet on top, indigo on the bottom. For half a run. Violet on top for half a run. So here. Now here we're going to switch, which means we're going to go 1, 2, 3 twists to bring the violet violet on the bottom. Definitely worth the time to make sure that you have your strings crossing in the right order. Violet on top. Okay. Always go back at this point. Once we're all finished up, we can't go back. Okay, so we're doing 1, 2, 3 twists. It's going to bring violet to the bottom and indigo to the top. For half a row. Violet on the bottom, indigo on top. And we're going to do 3 twists again. So every half a pass here, we're doing 3 twists so that we continue to alternate the colors to each side of the warp. Now we're going violet on top. Indigo on the bottom. 3 twists. Essentially all this is going to look like is like we're running 1 solid indigo, 1 solid violet, 1 solid indigo, 1 solid violet. But instead of having to cut our strings every time, we're just twisting them. Violet on the bottom, indigo on top. Violet on the bottom, indigo on top. And that's it for the variations. All very exciting. All things I learned from Doña Maria in San Pedro Atitlan, Guatemala. One day I'll be back to get some more tricks from her. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope it was helpful. Have fun weaving. Peace.